Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is Bigfoot here today, bringing you another episode of my Transport Fever series, White Valley. I've decided to go with that name because, it's white. We're not necessarily actually in a valley, I'll give you that to be honest, but I like the name White Valley. You sort of are, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit... Yeah, I would say this is a valley. I mean, this part here is definitely a valley anyway. You've got mountains at both sides, and maybe the valley floor is just quite wide. Because this river is pretty much, this is the main valley sort of thing. And I would justify it as a valley. So, anyway, yada yada. I don't know how the series is going so far. I've edited the first 2 episodes, but I've not actually rendered them out or uploaded them yet. So, this series could be getting hated by many. Or it might be absolutely loved, which thank you if it is, because that's pretty cool. But we have issues, and the issue is we are doing really well, but it's just a lack of capacity all round, to be honest. So I'm going to pause the game. If we look at Hampstead, the amount of passengers is pretty insane. Then the goods here, we've got, that's just the planks, then we've actually got the raw resource of woods, and that's breached its production. It's already gone up to the next classification, 100 to 200, and I want to make sure that it doesn't downgrade. Then if we come over here, we were getting a warning message at the end of the last episode to do with not moving stuff quick enough. So the bottom line is I need to, 1, upgrade capacities, and 2, if I can, make things just more efficient. And that's really what I'm going to start off with today. Now, making things more efficient, you can do that in many different ways, and at this early stage, I can't really do too much. For example, if I wanted to, I could straighten this road a little bit more, which is very tempting, and I think I'm actually going to partially do it, just because I think it's actually going to make the world a difference. So what I want to do here is, this is just strange, isn't it? I didn't think I would start my episode off like this, but I literally just want to do a stretch like that. This is what I like about the new terraforming, you can literally get that close, and that's going to save a lot of time because, not that this was in the latest update, but I think it's maybe only with railway lines you can see the actual speeds, but you can see the speeds of, where is it? Oh no, you might be able to do it on roads. No, it's just railway tracks unfortunately, but I think this will make things just a little bit better anyway. So we're going to have you come into... I mean, let's just delete this part there and that part there, and they go backwards, and it's saying that that route's disappeared, which makes sense. So let's link you into there, and that's just, it's just minor, but I mean, minor improvements are the difference right now. Then we're just gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna have to reconnect that because there's vehicles on it, and I don't want them to get stuck. But there we go, so that works out quite nicely, like so. And there we go. So, I mean, just marginal things like that. I'm not going to be doing a lot of that right now, but that's going to make a difference in the future, you bet. So, we just need to upgrade capacity, and that means we need to spend money on vehicles, which I'm very happy to do. I also want to make a lot of changes in the town of Hetton, and that's going to be coming very, very quickly. I also want to upgrade a lot of buses that have not been upgraded yet also. So we're going to start off with looking at this route to Hampstead, because it's not doing very well, is it? So Hampstead, it needs a lot more buses, so if I come into here, I'm looking for B, then I'm looking for Hampstead Hetton. 1, you're on the old buses, 2, you're only every 3 minutes, so I just want to replace now. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade to these bad boys. You are going to be in the colour of yellow, and we're going to replace now. So that's just an instant thing, and it didn't actually cost me too much because I get a good, I guess, sell back value because the buses are quite young, which is always nice, and that's something that I always forget about. I always get money back, and it's something I should really pay more attention to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add additional 3 buses onto this route, so that route is now extremely well supported. With that out the way, what other towns before I move on to goods? Burnham is, yep, needing it. Yep, you're needing it. Maidstone isn't actually surprisingly that bad, and nor's Colburn, so I think it's Burnham and Tellscombe, I think we're needing. Hetton itself's really busy actually, which is nice to see. The station's not the busiest, but, I mean, bus stations are never the busiest. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So we're looking for the Telescombe colour. It's been about 2 days since I played this, honestly, so what I'm firstly going to do is I'm going to upgrade the buses. At this early stage we're going to be upgrading buses a lot just because I get such frequent unlocks, but once we get past about maybe 20, 30, 20, 40, there's like no new unlocks, so that's something which is quite important to remember. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy just another one. I'll just put an extra bus on it to the Telescombe route, and that's fine. And then we're just going to leave it at that for now because Burnham, it wasn't that, no, let's just do it. We probably should sort Burnham out. So where are we? Burnham, alphabetical. So you are, yeah, you're a mixture first of all, which I don't mind, to be honest. We've actually got a lot of routes in the negative right now, which is a bit disappointing. Note that some of these routes are, the 2 Colburn routes are actually new, so sort of just disregard that comment because it's false. They will become profitable soon, I'm sure. I'm just going to actually automatically upgrade these buses if they've not already been upgraded. And then, yeah, that'll do. I mean, see, it's replacing the current buses though, so at least we've got all buses the same now, because that's just got rid of the original buses full stop, so we're only rocking that current bus right now. What I want to do now is turn my attention to goods, because I definitely need to get some more trucks on the go. So right now, I've still not been on the Steam Workshop, which I did not call it that in the last episodes. Can't remember what I called it, but I called it something totally different. And I was like, I should probably put an annotation in here, but I think y'all understand what I mean. I've still not actually gone ahead and had a look for any better vehicles, and that's something which I don't really need that badly right now, to be honest. So I'm looking for G, and I'm looking for Hampstead Wood, I believe. So that's some more trucks on there. Then next I need to go for some plank trucks. Let's buy 1, 2, 3 of you guys, and you're going to be going on the G. Should be able to see this route actually. It is not the tools, it's the planks one. And then finally, I'm not actually making that much tools, to be honest. I mean, the production's at 32, which isn't bad, but as I said in the previous episode, it's such a short journey that it's not really justified to have any more than the current 3 trucks on there. So let's go ahead and change Hetton up, because I'm not overly happy with it. Hetton's grown quite a bit. We were at, last time I checked, I think it was about 524 people. We're already at 700, and you can see we're definitely growing down towards the coast and this part of town here, this upper part of town. That's really where I want to focus here. So what I'm going to do is I want to sort of bring all these streets together and then create another out of town road. That's really what I'm going for here. So let's build you into there. Let's build you into, tell you what, let's cut you back just slightly. And let's grab you there and put you into there like that. So that's sort of a, it's not bad actually. It's sort of, does this look like it could be a bell, maybe. I don't know if anyone sees that bell there, maybe just the bell and then this road here, maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm talking rubbish. And then you're gonna come along, I'm actually going to tell you what, I'll do country road out here. And then you can go in and along like that. So this is, one, it's a more efficient route, but it's an alternative route, and the reason is because currently this road here has, I think, 3 different bus routes: dark green, light green, and blue there. So I want to go ahead and serve the town a little bit better, and I'm just going to move some routes around. So currently the yellow route is going to change and go totally different. I think, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to jump in and grab some bus stops. We're going to add in a bus stop in this lower part of town, and then we'll grab another bus stop and stick you probably about there, because this part of town is going to get grown into. And then if we jump in to the, pardon me, the Hampstead Hetton route, and then let's modify this. So we're actually getting rid of quite a few stops here, but most of these stops are served by other routes anyway, and that's why I'm just basically trying to get rid of that duplication, to be honest. So I can get rid of 5, not 6 yet. So after Upper Hetton, we need to go to this bus stop and then this bus stop, and then you go out of town, that's fine. And then when you're coming back into town, let's get rid of 7 now. And after North Street, then you come in via Victoria Roads, and then you come in via Manor Road and then into the station. So that's that slightly modified. You won't see the difference until I've really changed up all the lines. So the next one I want to do is I'm going to do the... What am I going to go for? We're going to change one of the ones that goes out of town anyway, and it's going to go up one of these roads here. That's the reason I just joined those 3 routes together, basically. So we can have a bus stop probably in there, and then we're going to have another one up here, like that, and that will do nicely. So if we jump back into here, it doesn't honestly matter which route I go and change. I think I'm going to go for the... Let's maybe go for the light blue. So that's a Telscom route actually, which has got a lot of buses on it, so that probably works out quite nicely. Let's get rid of... We'll keep 2 actually. Queen Street will be keeping. Let's get rid of St John's, let's get rid of Queensway, and that's fine. So as it comes in, it now comes in that more efficient route, which is good. And we also need to get rid of 8, or sorry, 9. Yeah, there we go. That's it, basically. So that's the modification done. So after 2, we're going to be coming along now to the green. We'll then be stopping at Alexander Road, and then all the way up at Windsor Road, and then on return after Church Street, it'll be coming in here to... No, that doesn't seem right. Oh no, 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 why did I just do that? Well, I'm going to very quickly go ahead and sort that out because I did a bad thing. So there we go, so that is the change made and the route into correct operation. So you can just see I've just spread things out a little bit here in Hetton, and that's the real purpose of it. So I think we're just serving the different part of town just a little bit better, and I can see more modifications happening as the town grows, but I've just got to continue to grow with the town, I guess. So that change is done. We can now go ahead and look to something different, and that's really what I want to do. What have we got here? So we are still not shipping. I didn't actually add any more onto this, and I really need to add a lot more trucks onto this. This is bringing in the construction materials into this town, and I think that's what I'm probably going to continue because I think we can definitely get a lot going on with that sort of either wood. It's either going to be down the wood line or going to be down the stone line. That's what I've got so far, but they're definitely doing me very, very good. So that's all those trucks launching out there, and that's definitely going to solve that problem. I think it's just having a bit of a backlog because this place here is doing quite well, but there's also another stone factory up here which I'm tempted to use and start to supply stuff to Maidstone. Alternatively, here we've got tools and we've also got a forest there. Do we have a sawmill nearby? Not really, or not that I can see anyway. No, we don't, unfortunately. I was looking into oil for a while actually, wasn't I? I could always connect up more towns, or I could build a passenger railway. That's definitely a shout. I was looking into oil where I was here somewhere. So we have this, which is the oil well, then we have the processing, and you can turn that straight into fuel, and then fuel can go straight to town. So I think that's my next adventure and is what I'm going to do. Now the good thing is there's a lot of infrastructure already in place here, which is quite nice. And it is very conveniently grouped together. The only thing is, coming down this valley here from Hetton, there's no towns. Literally no towns until you get to Newton Abbot, but I mean that's some journey, so I'm not really going to have that frequent passenger journeys coming down here if I'm all honest. You can just see how busy this place is, like the amount of vehicles on this road. I mean, it's all my vehicles, don't get me wrong. And one thing I think I do need to do is upgrade this road very quickly, which I'm going to do as well. There we go, that's a little bit better, and that stretch there, and then we're fine. So let's upgrade that, and the bridge, and I'm going to create a road which just goes along and down to here. So we'll upgrade at least this. I can't do that stretch because it's so close. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to remove this road anyway. I mean, it's not really in use yet. I'm going to wrap it around the other sides of the... whatever it is called, the oil well refinery. I'm going to wrap it around the other way because I don't like it that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in here, grab medium roads. I can deal with that. That was one thing I realised the amount I moaned about the corners glitch the other day. How straight a road is that? That is absolutely great. Have you running along there? You know what, we might actually go for it at this side, just make sure we leave a lot more room. Yeah, let's just do this actually. So this is like the coastal road, I guess, if you will. We can just sort of have you continuing along and going into pretty much just keep you going actually is what we're going to do. Then we'll just have a siding which cuts off and goes into there like that. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this myself here and then sort this out. Not that we're going to use it right now, but just for the future anyway, and then we'll just have you coming into there like that. Wonderful road that is. It's so straight and I can definitely... there'll be a lot. There always is oil, just... there's never really any good vehicles that carry oil, I feel, especially in early games, so there's going to be a lot of vehicles using that road. Is there actually any that can carry? I mean, the Opel Blitz, it looks not a tank. That's the bottom line. It can carry everything, it looks like. It carries oil, it does carry fuel as well, and crude oil, so the Opel Blitz carries everything, but it just looks like a truck with a tarpaulin over the back, so I'm not really at all sure how it would actually carry fuel, but I'm not really going to argue with that too much. In terms of Hetton, we are really doing well in construction materials. Tools is doing very bad though, it's only at 2%, and that's kind of disappointing. Construction materials are doing great, and that's probably only going to rise with the extra trucks we're putting on, as we can sort of see the new batch just now all rolling up the hill, and that's definitely going to have a nice knock-on effect in that 108 construction material waiting there. I'm a little bit concerned about the poor percentage of tools though, because it's a bit disappointing. A lot of wood is coming in here now, which is great to see. Production's at 34%, so it is slightly up. But compared to the amount of wood we had lying around, I thought we'd maybe be breaking that 50% barrier and going for maybe pushing the up to 100, but it just seems to be that we're not moving logs fast enough. I think that's the slower part of the whole chain here. There's planks to be transported, but you're only at, I mean, you are going up now, you're at 72, that's at 76. But, I mean, the production here is really, really high, and at least it's at the start of the chain the production is high, and that's increasing, so I think we'll just give it 5 minutes, and we are only playing on ×1 speed, so we're not really going to see any drastic changes anyway, until we actually speed the game up a little bit. This is my concern up here as well, just because it's quite a small station this, that, I mean, not all the trucks are going to be spaced as closely together going forward anyway, but if this production increases, like, for example, up to 400, then we might have to upgrade this station, because I don't know, the capacity is just a little bit hit and miss. And I'm guessing your loading times are extremely slow, and that's also something which concerns me. I don't know if that's affected by just the vehicles or by the stations themselves as well, because I know if we jump into here, and loading speed, so that's 1.0, so if I go via freight, Opel Blitz is ×3. I don't think stations affect it. I really don't think they do. I mean, it'd be quite smart if they did, but yeah, no, they don't. So, I mean, that kind of logically makes sense there. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing here. So, I need to go ahead and start off by making a few truck depots as usual, and then we're just going to roll from there, basically. So, let me start off with we'll start off with a small one here. I'm not really at all sure what town I'm actually going to go and put stuff to. That's my only thing. And I'm pressing the wrong key. I always press R for rotate, and then it lifts my camera up, and I'm like, we know it's M. Or N, I guess you could say. I've never used those keys, those rotational tools, so you can maybe understand where I'm coming from. Then we're going to have our next, which I'm going to make this large, because it's going to have inputs and outputs. And you're going to go there. Now, the town that we're going to export to, Newton Abbot I mean, it's not actually bad for a town with no connections. 207 is a decent population. Thaxt up here is very tempting, and that's also close to Goldalam, which is, or was, the biggest town before we actually started doing any building. Thaxt is not, I mean, again, it's not bad, but I really just think it's probably gonna go up to Hetton, and we can maybe send some stuff to Colburn, and I'm starting to think we could do that with construction material too, because Colburn's already grown to a decent size. So we can definitely get doing some of that. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Yeah. I really want that farm to be... I want this farm here to connect up to this, what's it called, food processing plant up there, but it's just too far away. Because I feel food's really easy to do. But you're not that far away from there actually, so I might connect you guys up. I'm getting distracted, let's focus on one thing at a time. So if you're going back up to Heaton, then I'm already set up at Heaton, so let's just get going with all this stuff here. So we're going to have a line here, this is going to be the crude oil line, and you're going to come along here. So our first line of the day, we're going to be doing G, and this is going to be, I guess it's probably in the Hetton sphere of influence, crude oil, like so, and that's fine. Then we're going to be doing from here to, yeah, I mean, it's quite basic this, to be honest. It's only 2 lines again. This is starting to get a lot more busy though. I do want you instead though, after here, I want you to go via here. And then on the way back as well, I want you to use that waypoint. That you've not done it the way I have wanted. It's because you've selected the wrong waypoint. I want the one across the road, so there we go. Again, it's just getting goods to not use the main street sort of thing. I think that's logical, and that should help us out there. So you're going to go into there, and then you're G, and then you are Hetton, and then you are F-U-E-L, or is it E-U-L? No, it's definitely U-E-L. It's me being dyslexic there. Just the one that looks right is definitely the correct spelling I just did there. One thing that is annoying me here is that we have 3 routes assigned, and I think I know why things were jumping around before. It's because they're not locked. So if you lock stuff, that means they don't automatically change, and that's why 3 of them were probably assigned to 1 there, which kind of makes sense. I'm probably going to have to upgrade the station shortly anyway, so... because it is a bit busy, isn't it? It is. In terms of just bus traffic, it's just going to get busier and busier, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, coming out of that, we are good to get trucks on the go, and that's what I think we should do. So I'm going to have a depot out here, because that depot in Hetton is just too busy, to be honest. Way too busy, so we're going to stick you in there, and let's get this on the go. So once again, Opel Blitz, so this is the crude oil part, and this is going to have probably about double the amount, or no, sorry, half the amount of trucks the other one does. And the reason for this is because it's not a long drive, so we'll start off with 5 trucks, and you should be on the crude oil like so. And then we'll say, I mean, this is in Hetton's sphere of influence, it's named Hetton Road Depot 2. Then we're probably going to maybe have like 8 fuel trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That just cost me a lot of money, and I'm down to 5 million, but oh well. You're going to be the G, and you're going to be fuel, so you're actually going to be coming back along here, so this road is going to be extremely busy. But, I mean, the roads, they're all the same truck, so they're not exactly going to be overtaking each other. And the road's really straight as well. I actually love this, you know that. That's one thing I've not really done, is I've not actually got some nice cinematics yet. In saying that, I mean, we all know the sort of scenery in this game, but I'm not really at all sure what the prettiest part of this map is. I've not really explored it that much. I mean, is it the mountain farms? Is it the mountain roads? Something like this? This is pretty nice up here actually, I'll give you that, very nice indeed. But anyway, let's get back to the game. So here comes the cavalry of trucks, literally. We'll come back to that. I'm going to put the game onto ×2 actually, just because I want to see how things are getting on up here. So last we left here you were at maybe what, 120 production. You're up to 196, which is great. You're probably about to push that 200 limit, so yeah, upgrade in 2 months, which is grand. Then we are seeing, yeah, you're getting close as well. That's really dependent on the amount of wood though, but I think we'll be fine there. In terms of tools, if we increase from 2%, yeah, 17%, so again, it's not absolutely flawless, but it's much better than it once was, and I think it's only going to get better. What I am going to do is I'm going to add 2 extra trucks onto the wood part, because I still feel there's a bit of a large build-up of wood which just isn't disappearing. So 1, 2, grab this again and set you onto the G Hetton, or it's Hampstead I guess, wood, and there we go. What are you moaning about? Construction materials. Try to ship more items. Is this because I've got too many trucks? Whoops-a-daisies. No, the good thing is you're hitting production limit, so what I think we're going to do now is we're going to start to provide some stuff down into Coalburn, because I think that's probably my best bet next. So again, really nicely well grouped over at this side of town here, so we are definitely going to get a depot in around here. Not really at all sure where, to be honest. What I'm thinking is I want to keep things cheap, because I must be gaining money at a fair rate though, because I mean that's me gaining 2 million in about maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, so that's quite good. I could go with depots, a large depot. What I will probably do is, I don't want to stick it up an end of a street though, but at the same time I do want it in sphere of influence. That's going to cost a lot, but if I do something like that, build you back there, I just realised that's quite a big drop, so this probably isn't going to work. Let's go for medium streets, and let's go, yeah, too much slope. I could have put money on that, to be honest. As soon as I placed that, I was like, yeah, that's a confirmation. I know I keep cutting my sentences, but a confirmation is quite cool. That's something which is sort of new-ish to this game. What I'll do is I'll actually manually draw this road out, or up here, so I'm not exactly saving much money, but that's pretty much in line with that plateau, isn't it? A bit strange. Anyway, what I was saying there is there's confirmations to delete stuff. This was a thing that was coming in. It's to do with more expensive or major infrastructure. So what I mean by expensive is if you're deleting maybe an underground train station, which is going to cost 18 million to delete, that's something which you don't want to misclick, so it's great to have a confirmation on there. Or if you are deleting like a station, a depot, or what are these called? Goods terminals. Then, I mean, these are major infrastructure which routes rely on, so I think it's good to have confirmations for them. Coalburn is big. I'm going to change this to Coalburn actually, because I'm already calling it Coalburn. So Coalburn is pretty big. I feel it's grown at a nice rate. It does have 2 bus routes coming through it actually, and I might go ahead and modify one because I feel I could do with the bus stop in a different area, but we'll come back to that. We're going to get some trucks on the go though, bringing stuff down here, and this place is going to get a road depot. I just need to start to spread more road depots around the map. When I was editing, I was like, I need to do this and not rely on Hetton too much, because if I get things to return and everything's returning to Hetton, then it's going to just cause me misery later down the line. So we'll get some Opal Blitzes on again here. You are going to be carrying construction materials. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you are, I need to create a route. Now one thing I am going to do while I'm here actually is I'm going to create an extra road, because I just want to spread the pressure out on the roads. So we're going to connect you up to there like that, and that is hopefully just going to mean that the goods come down on this road. I think they should anyway, and I mean the town centre isn't that busy right now, so I think we should be okay. Let's go ahead and see what route it actually takes. If it does take my, I don't think it is actually going to take my suggestion. No, it's not. Okay, let's build a waypoint then, which I still think they're so good, and I do need to use them a lot more. So let's put waypoint there and a waypoint there. After Central, you are going to visit that one there, and then on the way back, you're going to visit that one there. So again, just taking traffic off part of that route anyway, and I think that works quite nicely. So with that done, It's G Coburn, and then I'm going to start to call it Colburn now, I can just tell. Coburn, and this is a construction materials, and then finally it's assign some vehicles, and off you go. So that's me starting to not just focus on Hetton anymore, we actually are starting to spread our goods distribution, I guess you could say. So with that done, there's not really too much more I want to do. The amount of produce here is absolutely insane. I cannot believe how large it is. You have actually gone into 400, which is good, and the stone is coming in at quite a good rate, though it is slightly dropping, but maybe it's starting to go up. But what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are just going to go ahead and look up here, and again, things are doing pretty good, and I'm liking it. One or two things I have noticed just out of general observations is that there is two forests up here, and they're not that far away from here, so there's definitely, or this sawmill here, sorry, so there's a possibility of linking them up. That's definitely for sure. Is there any other things? Actually, wait, that's a forest there. Right, we're connecting that up in the next episode. I'm going to do that. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And then we can definitely start probably getting some stuff into Hampstead maybe as well next episodes. Because, I mean, what are the tools at now? 15. Why aren't they increasing? It's because I think I've also got to get steel into this place. So that's what I'm going to work on before an upgrade is scheduled. So I'm going to have to do that. And that's what I'm going to aim for next episode. Before I wrap this up though, I just want to say, please give this video a like rating. And let's just go over basically our profits. So buses are doing pretty well all round. Some frequencies definitely need work, and that maiden stone, I'm going to upgrade you guys now very quickly. You are dark green, which I think you are that one there. Upgrade, use and replace now, so that's 2 million, quite a bit, but it'll be worth it long term. All the routes are doing great though. The Man 19, that is very interesting, so I'll have a look at that in the next episode as well. Overall, all the goods are doing great, minus the new routes obviously, but that's understandable. In terms of our actual global profits, which is not that one, it's this one, I think we're doing pretty well all in all actually. If we have a look, year by year we're actually making a profit, and I would still say our spend is quite large. If we look at our income, we went from 6.4 million. I predicted in 1963, I remember from the last episode, I was predicting about maybe a 7 million profit. We reached 9 million, and then we reached 10 million last year. So, and it looks like we've just gone into February, and we're, I would say this year so far, we're on for probably about 1 million a month. So that's really nice to see. The good thing is we're already at the stage, I feel, where we're making more money than spending. And that's quite drastic. We're not buying anything too large right now though. But some vehicles can be a bit, you know, chunky, but wait till we get to trains, just that, because that's gonna definitely put a downer on things. Though in saying that, I mean, I don't really know when trains are gonna come in, so it could be a while yet. But please tell me your thoughts down below, tell me what I should work on, and give me your feedback and thoughts. And that's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.